Hello, and welcome to the Gaia update for the Saturn transiting its home sign of Capricorn, beginning on December 19th, 2017. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in a sign, so we're looking at a new chapter for humanity, and a powerful one, because Saturn takes about then 29 years to go complete around the zodiac. So it's been that long since it's been home in Capricorn, and it's pretty excited to feel that sense of coming home. This can be a really grounded, Capricorn's an earth sign, so it can feel grounding and stabilizing. So 2018, especially with Uranus also moving into an earth sign in May, is about stabilization. We've been going through a lot of changes and activations, especially behind the scenes and in our inner world and our energetic selves. And 2018 is about trying to bring this into stabilization. Now, the Saturn is being ushered into its home sign, along with the moon will cross right over, right, as it's moving into Capricorn, and then the sun, and then Venus, all ushering in this new era, our personal planets coming to an understanding about this Capricorn energy. So January is going to be a lot of Capricorn energy, and we're kind of going to get a hints and clues about what this Saturn home in Capricorn energy is going to mean for us. So Saturn is about integrity. It's our work duty, karmic law planet and reality planet, and kind of bringing things into integrity. There's a balance and an energy of morality. And so this can go either way for people individually, but there's a huge opportunity here for our world to change. So the thing about that's so powerful about Saturn moving back into Capricorn, is coming home in Capricorn, is that Pluto's there. Pluto is going to be there, and they're coming up into a conjunction in 2020 with Jupiter. And so really, really potent energy, because Pluto is death and rebirth and transformation and destruction and the underworld. And so Saturn coming home in Capricorn and hanging out with Pluto is about building a new world. And this new world needs to be a world built on integrity. And so we're looking in our life about where the structures of our life are built on integrity, or the truth of who we really are, especially with this North Node in Leo, this expression of who we really are right now. And if they're not in alignment with our truth, our integrity, what really matters to us, then they are going to be falling away. And this could be a really beautiful thing for the planet and the earth. And so this is a test of our belief systems, which are structures of our lives. Capricorn in general rules structures of our lives. And so we've got a test of our integrity, of our belief systems. Are they really in alignment? And so this is actually a really cool opportunity with Saturn and Capricorn to go over our belief systems. They'll be coming up and find out where their faults, where we've been giving our power away. Capricorn is a sign of authority. And so this is a huge opportunity with Saturn and Capricorn to take back our personal autonomy, spiritual autonomy, our personal authority from all the places, the structures of this life, but also the people where we've given our power away. And so this is happening in the world too. Can we build a new earth? I mean, all this earth energy is about building the new. And can we build a new earth that's based on better integrity? I mean, we know our systems, our financial systems, political systems, there is massive corruption, right? And there are signs that this is getting cleaned up behind the scenes, that there's some new energy coming in that's been working for years to try to make it right and be better for us. And So we're having an opportunity to break down the structures that are just actually, they're going to fall away and be destroyed, of what is not based on integrity in our life, in our personal life, and our collective. So Saturn is like father time, and has been, and so Saturn rules timelines. And the reason why it can be such a difficult planet in our chart is because it's showing us like obstacles and things that it will present obstacles and things when we're not on our right path, or we're not seeing things right, or the timing isn't right. And it can feel really frustrating, because it can feel like limitation and restriction. And this has been kind of a confusing time with Saturn and Sagittarius for the last couple years, because Sagittarius wants to seek and go out there and go beyond the veil and find out what's out there. And Saturn's like restriction. And what Saturn's really showing us is what's in the way. Okay, yeah, so you're cosmic beings. You're going to go out there and figure out who you are as cosmic beings. There's a whole bunch of belief systems and structures and control mechanisms instilled in our DNA and in our mind control through the media over many generations. That's not really supportive of us finding out who we really are. And so actually Saturn coming home in Capricorn, even though Saturn in Capricorn can be so serious, it can be so like kind of, it's kind of like come down to reality and get real, which isn't that fun sometimes. But if the reality that we're building is more in alignment with the truth of who we are and our true value systems, and can help people and make a better world, then it could feel really good and really stabilizing, and kind of like we can come home to earth, feel safe in this planet where it's been a really harsh place to be for starseeds, indigos, who are so sensitive in their emotional field and their psychic fields, the collective consciousness, and like feeling like, gosh, this is Earth is a painful place to be. And we've got to change that. And so that's kind of what father time energy is about right now with Capricorn, because the deal is that, like, because Capricorn rules time, it rules divine timing, it rules this whole energy of that feeling of limitation, restriction. You got to wait till the right time. And gosh, have we been waiting a long time to get real and clear about the world we want to live in. And so this energy of Saturn coming home in Capricorn can be a great opportunity to anchor in our light, our truth, the wholeness of our being into this timeline happening right now on planet Earth. And so a lot of souls that have a lot of experience and multidimensional experiences, starseeds and indigos, and they have been existing in multiple timelines. And it can be kind of feeling like, whoa, what is going on? And a feeling of like strange experiences and traumas from past lives or other dimensional experiences, like bleeding through into this reality, and what's going on, and what's the truth here. And so Saturn in Capricorn is giving us this opportunity to ground out, bring home our light to planet Earth. And it's interesting how we've had this period of time with all of our personal planets in detriment. Saturn is the last one in Sagittarius doing this retrograde, meaning detriment means it's in the sign opposite of its home sign. And so we had all our personal planets in detriment for this fall, and it felt really was bringing up a lot of this feeling of like not feeling at home in this world, not feeling safe, not feeling like there's other people that are like you, that are on your path, similar path. And it's actually what's happening is we're about to come into this big revolution in these starseeds, indigos, being able to find each other, finding your soul team, getting to work on these projects, building new structures and a new world. And so it's time to bring ourselves home to planet Earth. And it's like, okay, but I have all this programming in past lives that says it's not really safe for me to be here in my light, it's not really safe for me to express the truth of who I am in this scary place. And it's like, well, no, that's changing now. And it's all hands on deck. Saturn and Capricorn is like, if you're going to be here on Earth, come home to Earth. Bring all of those wounded parts of yourself that are parts of your soul spirit stuck out in other dimensional frequencies in this victim mentality of how difficult this earth evolution has been. And it's like, whoa, now is the time. We've been talking about it. We've been waiting for it, and it's been thwarted again and again. But this Saturn in Capricorn is like, it's like basically what's happening. It looks like to me, I've been shown this picture of these timelines are like strings, and they're kind of scattered around in our world, and we're tripping over them. Like this fall has been like, we're like, what's going on, and what's true, and what's real, and what is the point of this, and just really people, indigos who, it's like most of the planet is kind of in stasis and kind of asleep right now, just getting through. But the indigos are in particular, and all starseeds are really awakening, and it kind of feels like, okay, who are these people and what's going on? Like, why am I the only person going through this? And that's not true. That's programming. And you have to look at it like the indigos have been targeted over lifetimes. And so there's this programming that, if you're a target in your light, then if there's two of you together or a group, you're going to be even more of a target. And so these indigo souls, the first wave of starseeds, have been avoiding each other and scared to be around each other because of the potency of their light and of their power. But the projects we're here to do and what we're here to work on, we got to do together. So we got to find each other, and we got to drop these fears and conditioning, because we have evolved beyond. We are still targeted. Of course, we all are targeted with mind control and control energies on the planet, and this kind of affect our world with being poisoned and diseases and everything, and terrorism and all this kind of fear mongering. But we can, it's enough, we've had enough of time of like trying to fight against this and feeling disempowered, like we can never win. We need to grab a hold of our light and evolve beyond these mechanisms of control. And that's what the Saturn in Capricorn is giving us an opportunity to do, to gather up these traumatized pieces of our soul from these past lives where we were targeted and come home to planet Earth and be like, wow, now is the time. Now is the time. And it's kind of interesting because it feels like a very dark time, and yet that energy is calling us home. Saturn coming home in Capricorn, father time, reality, karma, equality, integrity is coming home. And so it's a great opportunity to get on your timeline, to ground out, feel safe on planet Earth, maybe for the first time in all of your incarnations as a starseed in this evolution. So it's pretty profound, and that's going to help us find each other and get to work on these projects. A lot of people, so many people come to me looking for like, what am I here to do? I feel like I'm here to do something and nothing is working and I can't figure it out. And everything seems to be working against it. And that's an interesting energy with Saturn. Saturn in our chart is often represents this feeling of limitation. And things that are restricting and working against us. But what it's really about is getting us on our true path. Like, wait until the right time, the optimal time. Go ahead and, it's like a lot of times we'll work and we'll get out there and we'll try to do some stuff. But if we're not quite ready, or if it's not quite the right timing, we're not heading the right direction, then it doesn't really work out. And that's Saturn energy. Saturn says you got to get on the right path at the right time. And it's going to not be easy until you do that. And so that, of course, means we need to drop karma. Saturn is the karma planet, and it's what's in the way of keeping you from that optimal path. And so huge opportunity to drop all karma. If you, as a starseed indigo, like want to get on your true path and set the intention of dropping all karma, this is everywhere you feel like you owe other spirits, souls, the earth. Most indigos feel a karma with the whole planet. Like somehow it's all your fault. And it's not. It's not all your fault. We're all in this together, and we're all trying to figure it out. And we're here to learn and grow and experience and expand. So, and it's a great time to drop in this next couple of years all of the stories of everything that's holding you back. And what really is involved in that is a deep forgiveness for where you've been wronged. And we've all been very much wronged on levels that we can't even look at. but we can still try to find that forgiveness, because it's about our spiritual evolution and evolving beyond control and evolving beyond this abusive energy of the patriarchal structures on our world, and taking the experiences we've had to empower us to help other people and build this new world. So as we come home to planet Earth and we feel more safe here, we start showing up, maybe dropping our karma, finding the forgiveness of what got us here, and being ready to move forward into this next chapter, finding our soul team. So all these people have come. I work with a lot of people who are looking for this true path, or what are they here to do, and what does it look like, and why can't the world line up? This is the timeline distortion thing that's been going on. And the deal is like, you have the projects that you're going to be working on are group projects. Like what we're doing in the building this new world is like, there's a whole group of you, you've worked together on awesome projects in other evolutions, and you're so excited to come together and work together, but you're scared of your power, and then together you're scared of that power. So all of this is getting resolved. Pluto, the planet of power, in Capricorn. So it's like fear of our own power and coming into our own spiritual autonomy. So if you are here to work on it, it's like we all have this idea that we have this individual path, and we're going to go out there and we're going to make it happen. But it's not an individual path. The Aquarian age we're moving into is all about community and building a new world through building community. And so you have one little piece of the puzzle, and you have no idea what the big piece of the puzzle looks like. You know, you can't get a sense of the bigger picture of the projects you're working on, because you only have one piece. And so until you drop the karma, you get that timeline adjustment. We're tripping over these timelines, and what it's doing is it's pulling the strings, and it's like plucking the string and allowing this timeline, the optimal timeline, to kind of reverberate and come in to focus and come into harmony and come into tune. We're tuning in to our optimal timeline. And so that is going to allow us to find these other people and get to work on these projects of building this new world. And so that's what's going on right now, as we are tripping over these wires and falling down. But that's because we've been on the wrong path, because we think we have to do it all ourselves and it's all our fault and we have to go out there and save the world. And actually, it's going to be an exciting project that involves your soul team working together to build this new world. And you got to wait until they show up. You got to allow them to show up. This can be really helped by getting an intuitive healing session and finding the karmic contracts that are keeping those true soulmates from coming in, and getting those soul retrievals and getting the timeline reset and making the most of this Saturn and Capricorn, building the life you really want, that you don't even know what it looks like because you haven't landed home yet. So it's, again, coming back to that, all these planets this fall in detriment, and then now Saturn coming home. One of the most biggest influences in our whole life, everybody in their chart Saturn has a powerful role for all of us. And Saturn coming home is kind of like we're coming home to who we have an opportunity as starseeds to come home into an understanding of who we really are and what we're really here to do in real terms, in 3D. So we're going to build this 3D reality, build this in our physical world, a 3D reality that's more in alignment with the higher truth of who we are. But it's like bringing that light. And a lot of kind of attention in the spiritual movement over the years has been around ascension and raising your kundalini and raising your vibration, and all that is real, but it gives this picture of like we're trying to rise out of this place. And actually, true ascension, true awakening is embodying the light, turning our bodies, our physical bodies, into light, turning the earth into light, bringing the light of the cosmos home to roost. So we're starting this right now with the Saturn in Capricorn. So there's a huge opportunity for this spiritual autonomy, and this means overcoming all fear. Saturn is a planet associated with spiritual initiation and facing your fears. And so a lot of the energy of Saturn has to do with these deep subconscious fears of our past lives, of being persecuted, of being thwarted, of being worked against, of being prevented. And, so huge opportunity to come in to our true spiritual autonomy and understand that there is not anything more powerful out there than our true cosmic self, because we are a facet of a bigger personality. We are playing a role in a bigger expression of the truth of the cosmic creator. And so like we all are cosmic creator, and we've chosen to play these roles to expand the consciousness of cosmic creator. And so like there is no authority over us. And but can we feel safe? Because this is kind of like humanity. We've held on. A lot of people, when we work on these soul contracts of what's been keeping you from keeping souls from really actualizing in their lifetimes, has to do with these authoritarian contracts. But a lot of times you've made these authoritarian contracts with this false god authority control mechanism on the planet Earth, because you were programmed and set up to think that your power is a bad thing, that your light can cause harm to other people and is too dangerous. This is a big fat lie. And that we've given our power over to these structures that are just concepts that are not, we're so much more powerful. We are so much more powerful than all of the constructs of authority and control and domination. But the soul spirits, you can see how they gave over this power, how we've all done it, because it's like, whoa, I'm powerful. Something happened from my power that was, because you were manipulated and set up as an indigo, as a naive, spiritual, pure soul. And then it's like this belief system that you can't handle your own power. Your power is dangerous. It's going to hurt other people. And so it makes sense where we've all made these contracts with this control mechanism, because it's like, can you remember what happened last time? Like, don't let me come into my power, whatever you do. So it's like, great, there's this authority mechanism. You could see it as a church or financial organizations or governments or whatever. They've played through this energy. But really it's like, so Saturn is facing our fears and evolving beyond them, and focusing the will, our spiritual will. So what Saturn does, because it's like a planet of restriction and limitation, it forces us to focus our spiritual will. And what that does is it kind of is like a laser beam through all of our spiritual fear. And so we have this opportunity, Saturn's a karma planet, to overcome all karma in this next couple of years, to let go of all the stories that are holding us back, or where we owe people or where they owe us. And it's like we've been stuck in these traumas, unable to move beyond the fear and unable to move beyond the trauma. And this new world we're building is demanding of us to come home to this timeline, to incarnate our light here in 3D reality, bring it home. It's not about traveling out to the cosmos. It's not about meditating out in your body, out there anymore. It's about allowing this spiritual light to work through you, to be the living example of the truth, and to show and demonstrate this embodiment of light. And so it's going to be quite an interesting time as we have this like Saturn energy of limits and restrictions, but really it's all about getting us on that optimal timeline and overcoming the false mechanisms of control on the planet, evolving beyond our karma, evolving beyond mind control, evolving beyond the diseases and everything that we have gone through and had to deal with to be a human, especially as an indigo, a starseed, trying to come and be a part of this spiritual evolution on planet Earth and being thwarted at every turn. And so it's like Saturn home in Capricorn, it's kind of like, ooh, that's serious. And that's like the guy who's always the Father God energy, who's always in my way. He's always saying, no, you can't. And we're having this opportunity to reconcile that energy and be like, yeah, we can. We just got to be at the right time, and we've got to evolve beyond the control. And so Saturn isn't actually the control mechanisms. It's just a mechanism. They're just used as part of the big cosmic picture, the big dance, to keep us. Ultimately, it feels like it's keeping us from our path, but it's getting us on our true path. And that's the hard lessons of Saturn. and so this is a big part of Saturn and Capricorn. It's an opportunity to get on our true path, focus that light of our will into direction and purpose, and the seriousness could really pay off. It's like a lot of us in our charts who have lots of air and fire, kind of like, ooh, all this earth energy, and it's serious, and it's going to be down to earth, and we're going to feel grounded. But we kind of could use that right now and be able to just focus our energy. So one of the cool energies of Capricorn, it's like the mountain goat. And if you've ever seen mountain goats, like they can do miraculous stuff, but like hang on the edge of one little tiny ledge and like go up stuff that's, totally ridiculous that we, so it's about overcoming the limitations of what we think we can do. And Saturn's a workhorse. It's like, get it done, make some shit happen. So a lot of us who have been kind of like, whoa, what are we doing? And what do I even do? Or where do I even go? Like, what does it look like? Now it's going to be a time to start focusing those energies into specific structures in our life that can really bring forward our purpose and direction and what we want to achieve. So that can be really grounding, and to just allow this Saturn Capricorn energy to work in your life and find out that true path, and kind of coming into that authority of what are you here to be an authority of in this lifetime. And you can check that out with what house Capricorn falls in your chart, and also where Saturn is, what house and sign Saturn is in your chart, and help you understand where you want to be an authority in this life, and where you want to get real and get down to business, and how you're going to build this new world. Like what is your karmic path? So as much as it's restrictions and limitations, Saturn also points us to our true karmic path. So Saturn represents in astrology the skin, and this is about boundaries. And it's actually a really cool thing because we talked about the seriousness and the heaviness of the earth energy, but like boundaries are really, really awesome. And it's like we can't really have true compassion or true empathy or true psychic abilities, access our true intuition unless we have proper boundaries. And so it's like Saturn is helping us have a thicker skin. So it's like we can own the beautiful parts of ourselves. It's like who we are as humanity is we're empathic and we're sensitive and we're emotions. We have just this depth of our being. But we can't really access that until we feel safe in our own skin, feel safe in our boundaries. And so Saturn and Capricorn is going to be really good for all these indigo and starseed empaths that haven't been able to be able to have these healthy boundaries, being like, this is how you're going to treat me. And that's how these boundaries come about through self-worth, developing self-worth and self-care. And so if you're working on your self-worth and your self-care, then it goes along that whoever comes into your life or the people in your life, and if they start, you're going to have a much better compass of what is serving you and what isn't serving you, because it's like, I have a boundary on that, and I'm exercising self-care, and the way you're treating me right now is not in alignment with my self-care, and so I need to put a boundary there. And this is like how we exercise true compassion. So we think that compassion is like, loving and giving and helping other people, but true compassion you cannot give in the world unless you have compassion for yourself. And this is part of our spiritual autonomy lesson happening with Saturn coming home in Capricorn. And it's about you're there and I'm here, and there's no one in this world that can honor and respect. A lot of us are just waiting in life for someone to come along and tell us it's okay to be who we are. And that's not going to happen. And so we have to be the ones. And so we have to stand up for ourselves and have that self-compassion and be like, I am a precious soul spirit, a human. I feel. And I have empathy, and I have sensitivity, and I have emotions. They might not make sense, but I'm going to honor my experience, and that means that everyone around you is required to honor you on that level too. And that allows you, those boundaries of self-care and self-compassion allow you to have true compassion in the world. And so this Saturn ruling the skin and barriers, this is going to be really potent for us coming into Capricorn. And part of owning our autonomy, our spiritual autonomy, and our permission to have our own authority is about having those boundaries and making sure that, and that, you know, the thing about earth signs is that they're sensitive. They're sensitive and they're down to earth. They're like, whoa, you know, they feel. And so it's about saying, hey, I'm sensitive and I'm going to honor that as my gift of being a human. And so you're going to need to honor that too. And that building those boundaries, healthy boundaries, is going to be really potent for activating and empowering the starseeds and the indigos to finally get on track, find each other, get going on building this new earth and creating this awesome new reality and building these new structures, working on these awesome, cool projects together. So that's the thing about structure. Structure is about organization, and it's about getting things in order, and what happens when we get organized. You know, so this is part of our world. We're like, whoa, and so we're going through these spiritual awakenings. We're changing our energetic level. All this stuff's happening behind the scenes we don't know about in our life and it's like the structures of this earth energy coming in, and Saturn and Capricorn is, Saturn does not want to waste time. It's father time, so you got to wait till the right time, but it's also about not wasting so much energy and wasting so much time. So a great opportunity in these next 2 years to just stay focused, get focused on your path, to bring the light into the structures and to contain your energy and value and honor your energy and be able to have those boundaries, that focus, that organization to finally get to work and see some positive manifestations in your life and the world, and what we're here to do as light bearers, and kind of getting to work and so it'll feel really good to be able to have those paths unfold and get that timeline ironed out, put in that kind of that drop a pin in that optimal timeline, bring that your whole light home to present time and planet Earth right here, right now. Find your soul team, find the structures, find the projects that you're so excited to get going on, and be a part of building this new world. So I hope you enjoy and have a beautiful and fruitful time of Saturn in Capricorn. I'm Adrienne Elise. Until next time, namaste.